In the United States, there are schools that have stood for over 100 years. Every brick, every hallway is soaked with the ghosts of the past. From these places, chilling stories have been passed down. No one can be sure they are true, but they all share one thing: a cursed name. This is a terrifying story taking place at a haunted school. Story 1: The Haunted School. El Paso, Texas, USA. In 1916, on a hill overlooking the entire Rio Grande Valley, a high school was built. The building featured classical Greek architecture with massive white columns, long sweeping staircases, and cold marble hallways. People called it by a simple name: El Paso High School. By day, the school echoed with lessons and the sound of shoes clattering along the halls. But when night fell, the place transformed into something entirely different. The wind from the valley howled through the cracks in the doors. Hallway lights flickered with a dim yellow glow. The peeling walls held hundreds of years of history, along with secrets no one wanted to touch. The people of El Paso whispered to each other, "This school is never truly empty." They said shadows still wandered the halls long after the bell had stopped ringing. Soft laughter and the sobs of unseen children echoed through empty classrooms. Most haunting of all was the story of a yearbook photo that remains an obsession to this day. The first incident. Autumn of 1936, 20 years after the school opened. The entire school was bustling in preparation for the senior yearbook photo. Students gathered in the courtyard while teachers adjusted robes and hats. A local photographer was invited to capture the memorable moment. But when the photo was developed, everyone was stunned. Among the smiling students stood a strange girl. Her face was pale, eyes dark, and a haunting smile curled at the corners of her lips. The problem was, no one had seen her at the scene that day. Many insisted she does not exist in this school. The photo was immediately confiscated. The administration tried to hide it, but rumors spread faster than they expected. From that moment on, El Paso High School earned another nickname: America's Most Haunted School. The present day. Over 80 years later, in 2022, a new group of students entering 11th grade began to hear that Maria and her friends walked slowly along the cold marble hall, the fluorescent lights blinking with each step. Each footfall seemed to echo twice, even 3 times, the space feeling unnaturally distorted. "Do you hear that? Creaking," one friend whispered. Maria stopped, listening. It wasn't their own footsteps, but a strange sound, like a shadow walking behind them. When she turned, the hallway was empty. The wind whistled through the window cracks, carrying the smell of old dust and burnt wood. They entered classroom 12, where some previous students had reported seeing a white figure glide past. The moment Maria stepped in, the door slammed shut behind them, creaking loudly. Everyone screamed, but no one dared run. Inside, dust covered the desks and chairs, dim light casting shifting shadows. A pencil moved on a desk in the corner, drawing strange curves on its surface. Maria looked closer and saw words appear. "You shouldn't be here." The friends panicked. One tried to open the door to escape, but it seemed locked from the outside. From the hallway came soft laughter, like that of a little girl. "We are watching you." They ran down the stairs, but each step seemed longer than usual, the cold stone floor chilling them to the bone. When they reached the ground floor, the hallway lights flickered. At the end of the hall, a faint white figure appeared, standing still, motionless. Maria recognized the small frame, long hair, and tattered white dress, exactly like the girl in the yearbook photo she had heard about. The friends held their breath, flashlights trembling as they shone directly on the figure. When Maria blinked, the shadow vanished, but a cold mist swept in, and on the hallway table appeared words written in dust. "Annabelle is here." A wave of fear enveloped them. No one wanted to stay another second. They dashed out of the building, hearts pounding. But when Maria glanced back from the courtyard, she saw the white figure standing on the steps, staring directly at them. She's standing there, watching us," Maria gasped. In the following days, Maria began hearing footsteps in classrooms when she stayed late, whispers calling her name from empty hallways, and occasionally saw the white figure reflected in bathroom mirrors, even when no one was behind her. The phenomena grew more frequent, and one day she found an old yearbook fallen from a teacher's cabinet long unopened. In the photo, among the students, the friends realized that El Paso High School was not just a place of learning, but the home of Annabelle's spirit, the girl cursed decades ago. Anyone curious enough to walk the empty halls would face warnings from the past, hearing sounds, seeing ghosts, and experiencing supernatural phenomena slowly gripping them. A week after their exploration of the main building, Maria could not forget the mysterious girl in the hallway. She went to the school library, where old records and yearbooks from the 1930s to the 1980s were kept. The dim yellow light of the library at night cast long shadows across the towering bookshelves, wrapping around her figure. Maria sifted through the storage boxes and finally discovered a 1936 yearbook, the very photo rumored to be haunted. She shivered as she saw the strange girl standing among the students, eyes staring directly at the camera, her ambiguous smile both faint and terrifying. When Maria placed the photo on a desk, a cold mist suddenly filled the room, extinguishing the lights. She felt someone standing behind her, breathing slowly and deeply, so close that she could hear the rustle of clothes. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice trembling. No one answered, but when she flipped the photo over, the girl in the picture seemed to move. A pale, ghostly hand reached out from the photo, touching Maria's hand. She screamed, dropping the photo. Immediately, everything fell silent. No clock, no wind, only the weak flicker of the lights. Maria tried to run to the door, but it seemed sealed by an invisible force. She turned and saw the white figure standing in the middle of the library, long hair flowing, eyes black and soulless. Maria's friends, who had also witnessed the phenomena in the building, began to panic. On another evening, when they returned to try recording the occurrences, a group member, Anna, mysteriously disappeared. The classroom door was locked from the inside, leaving only an old photo on the floor, her face drawn to resemble the girl from the yearbook, hollow eyes, and a haunting smile. Maria realized a horrifying truth. Anyone who looked at the photo risked being chosen by Annabelle's spirit, to be trapped in the yearbook and disappear from the real world entirely. In the following days, Maria began hearing whispers of her name from every empty classroom, hallway, and even from the yearbook photos hanging on the walls. The climax of this part occurred on a stormy night. Maria returned to the building, trying to find clues to save Anna. Entering classroom 12, the lights flickered violently, the floor so cold she felt every vein in her feet. Suddenly, all the yearbook photos on the wall shook, and the 1936 photo fell to the floor, opening to the page where the strange girl stared directly at Maria. A cold mist poured in. The white figure lunged, touching Maria. She screamed and lost consciousness for several minutes. When she awoke, the old photo was gone. Instead, there was a piece of paper written in red ink. "Next one is you, Maria." Her friends, witnessing everything, panicked and decided to leave the building immediately. But from deep within the hallway came the faint laughter of Annabelle, reminding them that the curse had never ended. Maria realized Annabelle not only existed in the past, but could manipulate the present. The yearbook photos were a gateway between the living world and Annabelle's spirit. Anna's disappearance was a clear warning. Anyone curious, anyone who looked directly at the photo, could vanish. After Anna's disappearance and the phenomena in classroom 12, Maria understood that Annabelle was not just trapped in the yearbook, but seemed to control the entire building. The halls, stairs, classrooms, all became alive in a terrifying way. One Friday evening, Maria and her friends decided to return to the building, this time to document the phenomena and try to explain the mysteries. They entered the second-floor hallway where previous disappearances and strange footsteps had occurred. The air was thick, icy, as if an invisible wall blocked each step. The flickering lights cast dancing shadows on the walls. Whispers echoed through every classroom. "Maria, Maria," low and faint, making their hearts race. Faint handprints appeared on the floor, stretching along the hallway. Maria shivered as the white figure appeared at the end of the hall, hair flowing in an invisible wind. The figure stopped, turned its head, and black, soulless eyes stared straight at her, a terrifying smile curling slightly. She's still there, watching our every step," Maria whispered. The climax of this part unfolded as the group stepped onto the main staircase, where a fire had occurred nearly a century ago. The blackened walls still bore the scars, the smell of charred wood lingering. Suddenly, the white figure from the hallway erupted, spreading across the staircase, making the space feel as though it was shrinking. Children's laughter mixed with sobs echoed, "Let me out! Let me out!" A few members panicked, turning to run downstairs, but the stairs seemed endless, each step stretching infinitely. Maria walked slowly, hands trembling, eyes fixed on the 1936 yearbook photo placed on the teacher's desk. The moment she touched the photo, the room exploded with cold mist. The lights flickering wildly, white figures appeared throughout the room, all with pale faces resembling the photo staring at Maria in unison. Whispers blended with soft laughter. "Ha ha, Maria, Maria, now it's your turn." Maria tried to pull her hand away from the photo, but an invisible force held her tight. A freezing sensation spread through her body, her heart pounding as if it would burst. Annabelle appeared before Maria, clearer than ever. Long hair fluttering, dark, soulless eyes, a horrifying smile on her lips. She whispered, "You looked at me. Now you belong to me." Maria screamed, but her cries were swallowed by the darkness. Everything around her spun, the white shadows from the photo leaping out, surrounding her. It felt as though her body was being pulled from the real world, merging into Annabelle's realm. Maria's fate. At dawn, classroom 12 was empty. The 1936 yearbook photo hung on the teacher's desk intact, but this time, Maria's face appeared at the end of the row, pale, hollow-eyed, her faint, haunting smile identical to Annabelle's. Maria's friends found the classroom deserted, only a red note on the desk with the words, "She's mine now, next year will be yours." From that moment, Maria became part of the curse, just like Anna before her. El Paso High School continued to stand, its halls, staircases, and classrooms haunted, and anyone curious enough to look directly at the yearbook photo could become Annabelle's next victim. Conclusion, the warning. 5 decades, dozens of students disappeared. All were claimed by a cursed spirit. Annabelle does not exist in a fixed place. She is the overseer, the living curse, and anyone curious will never escape her ghost. And if you are seeing an old yearbook photo or walking through an empty hallway at midnight, remember, Annabelle is always watching, and she will find you.